When her husband was inconvenient to take sides because his boss was Jewish, Aisha bravely stood in front of Curry. She said that if we have responsibilities and obligations to Israeli children, we should also have them to Palestinian children. Aisha criticized those who held high the double-standard flag and ignored life, and immediately raised funds for the children. When everyone envied Savannah for having James, they didn't know that the one they should envy the most was Curry, because Aisha always knew what he wanted to do. In 2019, the Curry couple jointly sponsored a foundation called Eat, Learn, Play. As the name suggests, the purpose of the foundation is to provide food and growth assistance to children in Oakland. The Curry Foundation chose Oakland just to tell people that love is not limited to regions. On the eve of the Christmas game 2 years later, Curry and Aisha went door to door to deliver Christmas gifts to families in the Bay Area. The event lasted for 12 days, and Curry donated a full $5 million, while Curry's annual salary after tax deduction was only $20 million. True love is not just about money and fame, but about me understanding you better than anyone else and being willing to do anything with you. The tearful look of this female player in front of the camera made the fans feel a little distressed, but the moment she stood up, countless fans instantly exclaimed that her figure was so beautiful. This is the 2024 WNBA draft. Curry's sister Cameron Brink was selected by the Los Angeles Sparks in the second place. The fans should have been equally delighted, but the next second they were all distracted by a pair of long legs that were nearly 1 meter long. Many people would think that Cameron inherited the good genes of her brother Curry's family, but there is actually no blood relationship between the two. Brink's mother and Curry's mother Sonia were college roommates and best friends. That's why Curry and Cameron are so close. In fact, Cameron's dream since childhood was to be a painter, but she went to Curry's summer training camp because she was bored one summer vacation. At that time, Curry soon discovered that Cameron had extremely high talent, and she could learn some very difficult moves in one afternoon. Later, he broke the NCAA historical women's basketball data with a very high hit rate. What kind of surprises will she bring now that she has entered the WNBA? Curry has a black and orange bracelet, which was a gift from Brady. Before every game, he would lower his head and make a wish on the bracelet, saying, "Brady, let's play together." Brady Stevens was 7 years old that year and had been in an Indiana hospital for 2 years. He is Curry's lifelong friend, and the two are very close friends. Brady is a very strong and brave child, but he is suffering from leukemia. Brady has always had a wish. He hopes to meet Curry. He knew very well that the relapse of leukemia could take away his life anytime and anywhere. Curry didn't tell anyone when he went to meet Brady, but chose to give Brady a surprise. The two spent an hour and a half together, during which time Curry, with tears in his eyes, held Brady's hand to encourage him. Curry, who had just finished warm-up before the game in 2017, received a call from Brady's father. He told Curry that Brady had passed away and also told him the last words Brady wanted to tell Curry: "Listen inside." From that moment on, Curry would always wear that wristband and take the court with Brady. When an old woman passed by Curry, Curry saw a basketball flying towards the old woman. Curry immediately rushed over and knocked the basketball away, successfully avoiding the old woman's injury. When the Warriors invited female fans to participate in an interactive game at home, the female fans were so nervous that their first 2 pitches went off track and failed to hit. The last time she took a shot, Curry rushed onto the court with a towel on his head, caught her ball, and put it into the highest prize bucket for her. Female fans were so excited that they screamed and shouted after seeing it. When Curry took a truce and failed to play an away game with the Nuggets, Curry's young fans cried sadly. When Curry learned the news, he invited the... As soon as this woman appeared in the 2014 NBA draft, she stunned the world with her appearance. She is Curry's most loyal little fangirl, and she is also the woman Durant can't get. Her name is Anjali, and she is the daughter of the owner of the NBA Kings, but she doesn't care about her team's record at all. Whenever she has free time, she flies to San Francisco just to watch Curry play. In 2017, the Warriors successfully avenged the Cavaliers, and Anjali excitedly shouted to the players' bench. At this time, Durant mistakenly thought that Anjali liked him, so he took the initiative to chat up Anjali on social media. Unexpectedly, Anjali directly rejected Durant, and he said bluntly on the TV show that "I have nothing to do with Durant. I just like Stephen Curry." After Curry found out, he first praised Anjali as a perfect woman, and then expressed that he only has his wife in his heart. This made Anjali stop pursuing her. Later, Anjali focused on her career, transformed into a professional manager, assisted her father in managing the Kings, and became an excellent woman. But Durant has never changed and is still single. This is a rare moment of anger in Curry's career. It happened in the NBA. In Game 4 of the 2022 Finals, the Celtics led the Warriors by a big score. In order to better influence Curry's performance, Celtics fans set up signs at the entrances of major local restaurants. It says that Curry's wife, Ayesha, can't cook. It's even printed on jerseys and sold on major platforms. Ayesha gave up her dream of acting in order to take care of her family. The comments made by Celtic fans are naked provocation and slander. Curry, a maniac who protects his wife, will certainly not tolerate this behavior from Celtics fans. Respond to those who taunted you directly on the court with incredible statistics. After hitting a key three-point shot, Curry immediately insulted the Celtics fans who slandered Ayesha on the sidelines. Speaking of, shut your shit up, don't say my wife's name. During the post-game interview, Curry also wore a t-shirt that said, Ayesha can cook. Curry loves his wife very much, and he knows better than anyone how good the girl is, who has been waiting for him in the tunnel after every game. So when faced with those unfriendly remarks towards Ayesha, he would respond angrily immediately. This is Curry, a man who will protect his wife at all times. Curry rejected the advances of the Kings owner's daughter, but fell in love with Ayesha's feet instead. Why is Curry so obsessed with Ayesha? The two met in a church in Charlotte when they were 15 years old. At that time, Ayesha was a popular child star, but Curry was just an ordinary athlete, so he had to put his crush on Ayesha, hit it deeply in her heart. After graduating from high school, Curry stayed in his hometown, while Ayesha moved to Los Angeles. But the bond between the two has not been lost due to distance. Curry, an NCAA star player as a sophomore, went to Los Angeles to receive the award. Curry also took this opportunity to work up the courage to ask Ayesha out on a date. But Ayesha always thought athletes were philanderers and bad men. It was not until Ayesha fell ill that Curry took care of Ayesha, which convinced Ayesha Curry is different. On July 30th, 2011, Curry and Ayesha officially got married. Curry was only 23 years old at the time, and Ayesha was only 22 years old. Although they have been married for many years now, their love for each other has never changed. No matter whether the game is won or lost, Ayesha will always scatter flowers in the tunnel to encourage Curry and comfort Curry's frustrated mood. This is why Curry likes Ayesha. Loyal to the team and loyal to love, this is Curry. When Curry spotted a fan wearing James Nike sneakers at an Under Armour event, Curry ran over and took off the fan's shoes and threw them off the court, then gave him a pair of his own Under Armour sneakers and put it on his knee to sign. In order to promote the 361-degree sneakers he endorsed, Gordon hung the sneakers around his neck for 2 full hours during the championship parade. During the post-game interview session, the sneakers were placed directly on the table to increase exposure. When Green saw the drink on the table was Gatorade, he threw him aside. In the interview after winning the championship, Green put the tequila he endorsed on the table to vigorously promote it. When the Warriors won the championship, other players wore championship short sleeves. Thompson, on the other hand, wore Anta t-shirts that he endorsed. Even his family and friends, Thompson also made them wear Anta t-shirts. In order not to display the Nike logo on the court, Harden, who signed with Adidas, would not only wrap the Nike logo with tape, he would even cut the logo directly to reveal a hole, and Harden would also remove the socks he wore on his feet, roll it down to cover the Nike logo. These stars not only take basketball seriously, they take the brands they endorse even more so.
Note that this is Curry's thigh after the 2019 finals. At that time, his right leg suffered severe muscle contraction, and it was difficult to walk even after treatment. In order for the team to move forward, he endured the pain and played all 6 finals games. But few fans know this because Curry never talked about his injury with those around him. The 2019 finals was a disaster for the Warriors. Looney suffered a fractured sternum in Game 2 and was suspended. Durant suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon in Game 5 and was unable to play for the entire season. Clay tore his Achilles tendon in Game 6 and was suspended. When everyone knew that the Warriors missed the championship, Curry stood up. He played game after game with injuries. Who would have thought that he, who seemed so weak, would still take painkillers and continue playing after his ankle was crushed by Horford? Even though media reporters at the time predicted that he would be absent and would not be in good condition even if he played, he not only did not miss the game, but also led the team to win the championship. He even scored 50 points in the first-round tiebreaker to lead the team to promotion. Although he is no longer young, his love for basketball has never changed, and this may be why everyone likes him.
What interesting things will happen when Curry meets his high school teacher by chance at the finals? It turns out that no matter how successful you are on the field, you are still a little shy when you meet your own teacher. On this day, Curry's high school teacher decided to take his wife on a trip, which happened to coincide with Curry's finals in San Francisco. So they prepared to have an encounter after many years to see if Curry still remembered his former class teacher. They arrived in Oakland an hour and a half after their departure. They first went to a nearby store to buy Curry's jerseys, and then hurried to the arena. In order to see Curry as early as possible, the head teacher waited in the front row of the arena 2 hours before the game started. He also joked that the tickets for the front row were too expensive. Soon Curry came to the court to warm up, but he did not see the teacher in the stands. So when Curry's warm-up ended, the head teacher called Curry. Curry was surprised at first, and then immediately scratched his head shyly. Later, the head teacher joked, "I used to sign your paper. Now it's your turn to sign it for me." Then they hugged each other, took a group photo together after the game, and helped the class teacher reimburse the tickets to commemorate this day.
He gave up his high-paying job at a pharmaceutical company and pursued his basketball dream even if he had to sleep in the basement and work in a restaurant. His parents thought he was crazy, and his friends couldn't understand him. Only his girlfriend promised him that she would support the family. This crazy man is Brad Stevens, the superhero behind the Celtics' 18th championship. In 1999, 23-year-old Stevens graduated from college as a marketing assistant with an annual salary of $44,000. In college, Stevens was the captain of the school team. At that time, he had always dreamed of entering the NBA, but because of school problems, he could only enter the society to work. In the end, he couldn't accept a life without basketball, and he recklessly quit his job at the company and joined Butler University, becoming an unpaid assistant coach. In order not to disappoint his girlfriend, he worked like crazy, spending 14 hours a day editing videos and working part-time in a restaurant after work. His efforts made him lucky to be selected by the rebuilding Celtics. In his 8 years as coach of the Green Army, Stevens led the team to the playoffs 7 times and reached the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times. Finally, he created an impeccable championship team. From a marketing assistant at a pharmaceutical company to a superhero behind 18 championships, Stevens' dream-chasing journey is crazy and inspiring enough. When Ingram was helped off the court by his teammates, Alvarado, who was wearing a training suit on the bench, was about to cry. He was the first to walk to Ingram, who was helped by his teammates, and pounded the latter's chest with his hand and said, "Brother, everything will be fine. If you know Ingram, you should know that he is the best person in the entire NBA." When Alvarado's salary in his rookie year was very low and could not meet his daily expenses at all, and he was worried about not having money to invite his mother to watch the game when he returned to his hometown, Ingram directly bought tickets for their entire family. In 2014, Nick Young fell to the ground due to a foul. When he was about to stand up and argue, he found that there was no teammate around him to help him, and he could only walk back to the bench with a sad face. The same thing never happened after Ingram came to the Lakers. When Nick Young was surrounded again because of a conflict, Ingram helped Nick Young take the opponent's punch without saying a word, and always protected Nick Young. Although the fans are not very satisfied with his skills, it has never prevented him from bringing kindness to those around him. Everyone wants to be with Jenner, but what costs have NBA players paid to be with Kendall Jenner? In 2007, at just 14 years old, Jenner made her debut alongside the Kardashian sisters on a reality show. Thanks to her striking looks and tall figure, she gained considerable exposure. Seeking more attention, she decided to venture into the NBA to gain publicity through relationships with star players. The first player she dated was Jordan Clarkson. The two hit it off at the 2016 American Music Awards and soon confirmed their relationship. However, this romance only lasted for 6 months. During their time together, Clarkson didn't face significant costs. In fact, his career saw noticeable improvements. A year later, Jenner set her sights on Blake Griffin. Compared to Clarkson, Griffin wasn't as fortunate. During their relationship, Griffin's performance on the court declined under Jenner's influence. Adding to his woes, injuries led to him being traded from the Clippers to the Pistons. Just 3 hours after the trade, Jenner announced their breakup. In 2021, Jenner publicly announced her relationship with Devin Booker on social media. Being with Jenner, Booker managed to break the Kardashian curse, significantly boosting his popularity and career. He led the Suns to the NBA Finals. Every time he goes to an away game, his bag is filled with 150 coats. As long as the team boss calls, no matter how late it is, Holiday must deliver the things to the room within 10 minutes. In his rookie season in 2009, rookie Holiday received a call from veteran Brand at 3 a.m. saying, "I'm in the room. Please send the things over quickly." As soon as the call ended, Holiday quickly picked up his bag and completed the task within 5 minutes. He has long been accustomed to such work. Although Holiday has been doing such things, he is known as the cleanest man in the NBA. In 2016, Holiday's wife Lauren was unfortunately diagnosed with a serious brain tumor, and he, who should have received a career-long contract, submitted a report of unlimited truce to the team. Even though the Pelicans general manager tried his best to persuade him, he still said lightly, "If I lose my wife, I will suffer for the rest of my life." Holiday, who gave up his annual salary of tens of millions, decided to accompany Lauren without hesitation. After a 10-hour operation, Lauren was successfully out of danger, and Holiday outside the operating room had already cried into tears. After this incident, Holiday cherishes his time with his family even more. He kisses his wife and daughter before every game. It is the responsibility and love for his family that makes Holiday go all out in every game. So, 3 first-team All-NBA selections and championships are not accidental. They are the wonderful gifts of Holiday's experiences and efforts along the way. This is Smart being carried off the court after guarding Curry. Smart once said on the show that he has 100 ways to guard against Curry. As a result, Smart couldn't keep up with Curry's running, and could only follow behind and keep breathing heavily. And this is Morant's facial expression after guarding Curry. You can see that he is so tired that he even wants to put a bed on the bench. Even Mad Dog Beverly said this about Curry in an interview: "If it's Paul who I have to defend the next day, then I don't have to rest at all, and I can even go to the bar for a drink. But if I have to guard against Curry, I will go to bed before 8 o'clock in the evening." After Jokic finished defending Curry, he expressed directly after the game that he was so tired that he wanted to go back to Europe to race horses. Dellavedova also defended Curry like a mad dog throughout the game. Although the defense was very effective, Dellavedova was so tired that he collapsed after the game and was taken directly to the ICU by ambulance. The reason why Curry is so difficult to guard is entirely because of his extraordinary training regimen. Although he does not have the ability to use high-tech products to protect his body like James, but Curry has strong self-discipline, which is why he is still strong today.